Why does conservatism look so much sexier in America? No, really, I mean, how have they managed to turn it into this whole aesthetic? Churches on Sunday, big family dinners, cowboy boots, autumn leaves, babies, home cooking, soft lighting, front porches with swings, the whole Pinterest board of it all. Over here, we've got, I don't know, a Margaret Thatcher hangover, Theresa May in kitten heels. Because I was reading about Liz Truss and her launching the British version of CPAC, the American Conservative Conference. And I'm just not sure it's going to work in the long run. Not because Britain doesn't have conservatives, of course we do. And it's not because Liz Truss is organising it. I mean, I don't actually think she's the real problem here. I think we have completely misunderstood why American conservatism works culturally and why ours just doesn't. Because we already have conferences. Boy, do we have so many conferences. But CPAC has evolved into something a little bit different over there because politics isn't just solely about policy anymore. It's about aesthetic and identity and whether you or not you want to be a part of it. That's it. That's the whole game. And whether you agree with it or not, the American right understand that. They sell a feeling. And it's not necessarily reality. Let's not be naive. But it's a romantic image, and romance is powerful. Meanwhile, in Britain, what exactly are we selling? Fiscal responsibility? Oh yes, nothing makes a girl weak at the knees like a well-balanced spreadsheet. Come on. But looking at some of the clips of CPAC, is this really the best the British right wing has to offer? And yes, I know I'm like a week later talking about this. I'm really, really sorry. Work has been an absolute nightmare. I have had barely any time to think about anything but that.
And I hate everything.
Why can't I just win the lottery? I mean, I love working on this. I wish I could work on this full time. I love talking to you all. I don't get to have many conversations about things like this in my everyday life. I mean, my friends aren't exactly on the political right. So thank you so much for being here. But being late has given me a chance to look at the clips, and frankly, it's exactly what I thought it would be. At moments, it genuinely felt like it was a reform conference that had wandered into a GB News live event, and no one quite knew who was hosting. And look, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. When Nigel Farage is on, he absolutely delivers. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows his beats and he understands his audience.
I honestly believe we're less than a decade away from effectively turning in to a third world country. And I will be damned if I'm going to see that. And I'm putting my shoulder to the wheel. And I urge those of you in the audience who have the same sense of urgency that I do about the problems that we face to put your shoulders to the wheel as well.
But this isn't enough anymore, because a movement cannot survive on one or two strong performers. It needs depth and newness and spirit, and frankly, it needs an aesthetic. Because what even is it? No, what is it? Because I sometimes wonder if British conservatism doesn't ever understand why people support it, why people actually vote right. Because yeah, the left completely has an aesthetic. It's very modern. It's very student. It's tote bags and pins and protest and poetry nights and kind of chaotic hairstyles and a soft, smug glow of moral certainty.
How do you do, fellow kids?
It's basically friendship bracelets meets anti-capitalism. I mean, is it contradictory? Yes. Is it puritanical? Completely. Also aesthetic though, and you can spot them instantly. It's a tribe, and if you want to be a part of it, you become a part of it. And I wondered if for some time conservatism has stopped trying to be true to its form, because it was always about continuity and stewardship and family, village life, seasonal rhythms, the beauty of passing something down. It was gardens and churches and pubs and rituals and belonging. It was home. And somewhere along the way, that whole emotion just got replaced with PowerPoint energy and Boris Johnson.
Yesterday, we had a piece of cheese and it was very good.
So now we've got this bizarre situation where the left is out here fully embodying a lifestyle, even when it contradicts itself. And the right is nervously hovering around like, well, we don't really want to offend anyone. And that's what really gets me, because the left doesn't ask permission to believe things. And the more I watch these videos,
cultural and spiritual nihilism, open borders and rising unrest. This week, we will have yet another Prime Minister installed in Downing Street, Andy Burnham, the 7th within 10 years. What do you all think of Andy Burnham?
Reading what people were saying about CPAC, the whole thing struck me as incredibly old. These conversations are maybe 15 or 20 years past when people have been talking about them, because none of this was new or radical or groundbreaking or civilization defining. These conversations are happening in every pub in the country on a Friday night. So how are you so behind? I mean, no, really, how are you this behind with the times? Because if a literal nobody on the internet, can tell you the kinds of conversations that people are having right now, if I can see the topics which are bubbling up, the things that people are debating, then how are the people who are positioning themselves as leaders of the political right not even touch them? Where was remigration, death penalty, ethno versus civic nationalism? Because whether people like it or not, whether they agree or disagree, find uncomfortable, don't have an opinion, these are the conversations that are happening in the country right now, and they are clearly gaining traction, and yet nothing? Which is quite impressive, really, to be so on the pulse that you completely miss it.
Boom. Roasted.
So what exactly was this conference offering? Another chance to see the same speakers saying the same pieces that they've learned to say another time again, probably will be said the same again in a month's time. Where is the sense that you're actually reacting to what is happening? Because movements that are alive don't just repeat what they've been saying. And meanwhile, over in America, they're not just repeating themselves, they're building a whole world. American conservatism didn't just stumble into looking appealing. It completely leaned into it. I mean, the trad wife era, yeah, complete with butter churning and suspiciously perfect sourdough.
But I can't help it that I'm popular.
It isn't a joke. I mean, you can mock it, you can make fun of it, but it's a lifestyle. And you can picture it, you can imagine yourself inside of it. It is totally sellable. And it's sexy. And here we don't have that. We don't have a coherent picture of what conservative life looks like. We have policy positions. The British right still feels like it's asking permission, still desperately trying to be liked, still acting like liberalism is the referee. And no movement in history has ever become culturally powerful by waiting for its turn. So, of course, this isn't about Liz Truss or CPAC or whether or not we should copy America. I mean, good luck to you, Liz. I think you've had a bit of a rough ride. But this is about whether British conservatism does have a sense of growth, a sense of momentum, a sense of youth, a sense that it feels like it's being at the foreground of conversation, a sense this is something that you would choose to be a part of, not just agree with in theory. Because right now, none of it feels like a movement.
This is the worst.
It doesn't even feel like a moment. And it just feels like it's something that we've constantly seen repeated again and again and again. But as always, let me know what you think below. I mean, I really, really value your opinion. What do you think about the topic? What do you think about CPAC? What do you think about Liz Truss? Liz Truss. I saw... God, doesn't that feel like a lifetime ago when she was Prime Minister? Anyway, as always, let me know what you think, and do think about giving me a like and subscribe. But speaking of subscribe, I just wanted to thank you for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. I never thought I would get to 10. So the fact that 1,000 of you actually think that I have anything worth saying is incredibly, incredibly flattering. I really work incredibly hard to try and think and come up with stories and come up with conversations that you might not get in your everyday life. I know I don't get these kinds of conversations. I'm not a journalist. not a commentator. I'm just someone who is trying to have honest conversation. So thank you so much for being here, for being a part of it. It means more than you will ever know. So do think about giving me a like and subscribe, and I will see you very soon, because you're going to have a lot of videos from me in a very short space of time. So thanks.